Good evening and thanks for joining us. It happened thousands of kilometers from this country, but the deadly terrorist attack on a natural gas plant in the Sahara has hit close to home. According to Algeria's Prime Minister, one Canadian, possibly two, not only took part in the attack, but may have helped orchestrate it. And the Algerians suspect it was an inside job. A man who'd once worked at the sprawling facility helped the militants, heavily armed with weapons and explosives, gain access. When it was all over, dozens of foreign workers were dead. Sean Mallon starts off our reporting on this tonight.
Blackened hulks are reminders of the days of terror in the desert. Algerians showed off some of the weaponry used by the militants and listed the lethal totals. 39 hostages dead, all but one were foreigners. 29 of the hostage takers were also killed in the battle to retake the gas plant. And then a stunning revelation. Prime Minister Abdelmalek Salal said a Canadian coordinated the assault. His name was Shaddad, he says. Everyone knows him. He would communicate with them via the internet in Mauritania. The goal was to blow up the plant. It wasn't immediately clear whether this Shaddad was actually among the militants at the gas plant. The Algerian Prime Minister says two Canadians were among the attackers. The dead hostages included Americans, Japanese, Filipinos, Norwegians, and British. The Prime Minister of Great Britain didn't mention the Canadian involvement directly, but it seemed to be what he was citing when he talked about the evolving threat of terrorism in North Africa.
But as it escalates, it is also becoming a magnet for jihadists from other countries who share this poisonous ideology.
Algeria's PM says the militants were wearing Algerian army uniforms and had assistance from a former driver at the plant. Their assault started Wednesday when they attempted to hijack a bus carrying workers to the airport. A guard set off an alarm which alerted all to the danger and stopped the flow of gas as the militants moved onto the main complex. More stories are emerging about the hostages' experiences, both miraculous and, in Bob Whiteside's case, heartbreaking. He discovered that his brother Kenny was killed just as Algerian troops were launching their assault.
The first assault in the camp, the terrorists lined up 4 hostages and assassinated them. Well, shot them in the head.
Filipino hostage Joseph Balmaceda was more fortunate. He was tied up and thrown into the back of a truck by the militants. When the vehicle was hit by an explosion, he ran, then crawled away. I consider this my third life, he says, because even when I was crawling, the militants were still shooting at me. And so what had been a regional plague of Islamist kidnapping and murder that had rocked North Africa for years now has international implications, and they strike ominously home for Canada. Britain's Prime Minister told the Commons that he is putting terrorism at the top of the agenda for this year's G8 summit. Donna?
Sean Mallon in London tonight. Thanks, Sean.